The growing threat to underwater sites. Climate change is endangering underwater archaeological sites through rising sea levels, ocean acidification, and stronger storms. These factors accelerate erosion, degrade shipwrecks, and disrupt ancient submerged settlements. Without proper intervention, invaluable historical evidence could be lost forever. Mapping and monitoring sites. Advanced technologies like sonar mapping, underwater drones, and satellite imaging help researchers track changes in underwater sites. Regular monitoring allows archaeologists to assess risks, document damage, and develop conservation strategies before irreversible deterioration occurs. Protecting sites with artificial barriers. To combat strong currents and erosion, conservationists install protective barriers, such as sandbags and artificial reefs. These structures help stabilize sediments and shield fragile artifacts from further damage caused by waves and shifting sands. Managing temperature and chemical changes. Rising ocean temperatures and acidification accelerate the decay of shipwrecks and ancient artifacts, particularly those made of wood and metal. Conservationists use pH-balancing materials and controlled environments to slow down these chemical reactions and preserve underwater cultural heritage. Controlled excavation and artifact recovery. In cases where preservation in situ is impossible, archaeologists carefully excavate and remove artifacts for conservation on land. This process requires meticulous documentation, as removing items can disrupt historical context if not handled properly. Legal protections and marine reserves. Governments and international organizations establish marine protected areas to safeguard significant archaeological sites. Strict regulations limit human activities like fishing, tourism, and coastal development that could harm these underwater cultural treasures. Sustainable diving and tourism practices. Responsible diving practices help minimize human impact on fragile underwater sites. Eco-friendly tourism initiatives educate divers about proper behaviors, such as avoiding direct contact with artifacts and using non-invasive photography techniques. Collaborative conservation efforts. Preserving underwater sites requires global cooperation among archaeologists, environmental scientists, governments, and local communities. International agreements, like UNESCO's Convention on the Protection of the Underwater Cultural Heritage, promote shared responsibility in protecting these valuable historical resources. The future of underwater heritage preservation. With climate change accelerating, innovative approaches such as 3D scanning, digital archiving, and eye-driven monitoring will play an increasing role in preservation. By combining traditional archaeology with modern technology, researchers can protect these submerged time capsules for future generations.